Not sure if I'm following, but can you give me an example? Not sure if I'm following, but can you give me an example? There were only a few people at the meeting. There were only a few people at the meeting. Had he worked harder, he could have won the race. Had he worked harder, he could have won the race. His grandfather is a geologist. His grandfather is a geologist. I will do laundry at 8 p.m. I will do laundry at 8 p.m. Can you help me find the nearest gas station? Can you help me find the nearest gas station? We should not experience. We should not experience. His aunt collects donations. His aunt collects donations. This is your brother. This is your brother. This shirt is too small for me. This shirt is too small for me. They still need to pack their bags for the trip. They still need to pack their bags for the trip. Should not leave. Should not leave. Is his half-brother a notary? Is his half-brother a notary? Were his parents foremen? Were his parents foremen? They can't speak Spanish, can they? They can't speak Spanish, can they? His house is bigger than mine. His house is bigger than mine. How many chairs do you need? How many chairs do you need? Shouldn't it roll? Shouldn't it roll? I've never seen this phone before. I've never seen this phone before. Do you have a penny in it? Do you have a penny in it? Is it normal to check? Is it normal to check? If I was taller, I would be a basketball player. If I was taller, I would be a basketball player. He practiced speaking English every day and as a result, he started speaking fluently. He practiced speaking English every day and as a result, he started speaking fluently. Are her stepbrothers free? Are her stepbrothers free? He poured himself a cup of coffee. He poured himself a cup of coffee. Tear up. Tear up. Will they not burn? Will they not burn? There is very little information available on the subject. There is very little information available on the subject. Usually blogger? Usually blogger? Can't be a bartender every month? Can't be a bartender every month? John was asleep when I got home. John was asleep when I got home. Who has a laptop on the table? Who has a laptop on the table? I will brush my teeth. I will brush my teeth. I can go home. I can go home. Didn't he finish one night ago? Didn't he finish one night ago? He likes to play football. He likes to play football. He orthopedist 4 p.m. He orthopedist 4 p.m. Thank you. Thank you. He couldn't have suffered for 1 second before. He couldn't have suffered for 1 second before. I like to read on the bus. I like to read on the bus. What is your favorite player? What is your favorite player? Would not contact. Would not contact. Were you waiting? Were you waiting? Mary and I are going shopping. Mary and I are going shopping. Can he sign often? Can he sign often? Shouldn't we be gardening in a second? Shouldn't we be gardening in a second? He plays football in the park. He plays football in the park. The girl in the red dress caught everyone's attention. The girl in the red dress caught everyone's attention. I replied 5 months ago. I replied 5 months ago. They forced 10 years. They forced 10 years. My daughter was a librarian. My daughter was a librarian. Can they search? Can they search? We will not die soon. We will not die soon. Our mother was a drummer. Our mother was a drummer. Was his neighbor a draper? Was his neighbor a draper? The baby is babbling and making funny noises. The baby is babbling and making funny noises. The company is looking for a new customer service manager. The company is looking for a new customer service manager. Doesn't it open after 2 nights? Doesn't it open after 2 nights? Looking forward. Looking forward. Couldn't they prove it? Couldn't they prove it? I can't wait to go on vacation next month. I can't wait to go on vacation next month. The cake is very sweet, a little too much for me. The cake is very sweet, a little too much for me. If he got a scholarship, he would study abroad. If he got a scholarship, he would study abroad. International relations are shaped by economic, political and cultural factors. International relations are shaped by economic, political and cultural factors. We must hurry or we will miss the train. We must hurry or we will miss the train. You may not recognize it in a minute. You may not recognize it in a minute. The audience was mesmerized by the performance. The audience was mesmerized by the performance. I rarely listen. I rarely listen. Can't he behave? Can't he behave? They are going to throw a surprise party for their friends. They are going to throw a surprise party for their friends. Can you pass me the pen? The yellow one on the table. Can you pass me the pen? The yellow one on the table. Now they can explode. Now they can explode. I always try to avoid the bus during rush hour. I always try to avoid the bus during rush hour. Your daughter was a pianist. Your daughter was a pianist. Hormone. Hormone. His colleague is a lieutenant. His colleague is a lieutenant. Does not appear mu. Does not appear mu. Can you drop me off at the airport? Can you drop me off at the airport? Consistency in study will lead to better grades. Consistency in study will lead to better grades. Can't it be renewed monthly? Can't it be renewed monthly? Cannot adapt. Cannot adapt. Is her brother-in-law an astronomer? Is her brother-in-law an astronomer? You nurse. You nurse. It is important to use new words to improve your English. It is important to use new words to improve your English. They've been discussing this issue for hours. They've been discussing this issue for hours. The arrangement of the furniture makes the room appear smaller. The arrangement of the furniture makes the room appear smaller. The cake is very sweet, a little too much for me. The cake is very sweet, a little too much for me. He upgraded his laptop with more RAM. He upgraded his laptop with more RAM. Does not receive daily points. Does not receive daily points. He blamed himself for the accident. He blamed himself for the accident. I have a lot of strength. I have a lot of strength. He blamed himself for the missed opportunity. He blamed himself for the missed opportunity. In its place. In its place. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair. I do not drink alcohol. I do not drink alcohol. Were we always nanny? Were we always nanny? On the way home from work, I must not forget to do the grocery shopping. On the way home from work, I must not forget to do the grocery shopping. Is your husband a landscape architect? Is your husband a landscape architect? I am going to the garden. I am going to the garden. Also, I think we should consider teaching online. Also, I think we should consider teaching online.